we met in prison. I was a case manager at the time, and he took one of my classes. And actually, over time, I saw him change and grow into the man he is today. And he successfully completed, got released and completed his supervision. And so I want him to come and talk about some of the things that he experienced in prison, what it was like over the 25 years, because the 25 years he was in prison changed significantly. So did the outside. So like some of the stuff that he experienced when he came back out into society. And kind of a big culture shock, I bet. I remember having conversations with him while he was in prison, and at that point he didn't know whether he was going to be released or not. And now he's married and has 3 daughters. So he really is a true success story. So let's give him a round of applause.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, and then I'm going to open up for questions. Hopefully my story can change somebody's life. I was born in Akron, Ohio to 2 teenage parents. I come from that type of community. You might have heard of it, you might have read about it, you might have experienced it. You might have known somebody that did experience it. I lived it. And I'm talking about, you hear them voices in your head and you be like, is that the devil talking to me? He wasn't talking to me. He was feeding me. From the ground up, from the belly, I came out of my mama's womb. I was in a rat race. I was told all my life I would be like my father. And I gravitated towards that. That was, okay. He wasn't around, so it had to be a good thing. They recognized that I was my father's child. But then the characteristics were all negative. But it didn't really matter because I had to hold on to something. In my community, there's nobody that influences a male child like his father. I don't care in what part of the world it is. Nobody. And I had heard all these things about him, so I wanted to be just like him. So I began to fight. I began to steal. I began to cuss. I began to do everything that was a mirror image of him. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that my actions, my hands, didn't commit the crimes that I spent 25 years and 11 months doing. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you the contributing factors. I'm going to tell you who I was then. I'm going to tell you who I am now. That world was who I was. I was bravado. I was out there. Anything that had to do with him, I was it. I didn't meet my biological father until I was 12 years old. My mother was in prison and left me with her twin sister. I was neglected at that age. I was mistreated. My father was in prison. My mother was in prison. I was 14 months. At that age now, my paternal grandparents wanted me, but my mother insisted that my maternal family had me. Needless to say, they mistreated me, and I had a cousin who was the same age as I was. And my father's family took care of me, but everything that I had went to him. So I was mistreated. And at one point I stumbled along and, I drunk some pine. So my great-grandmother said, she came around to the house and she said something wasn't right with me. She seen that after smelling my breath or whatever, I had drunk the pine soil. So in my mind, I'm saying all this to say, I've been blessed. God has been so good in my life. Nothing of my own would I have been able to do. this is all by the grace of God. Why? Because a lot of people don't come out of this, what I'm about to tell you, into where I am today. And that's only because God's hands has always been on me. And even at that age, my great-grandmother said, she rushed me to the hospital and they pumped my stomach and I had poison. That's when I was a child. And then like I said, I met my father when I was 12 years old. So that type of abuse or neglect wasn't anything new in my life. It was a part. You know, and I'm not going to say that adversity built character. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that adversity builds character. I believe adversity reveals character. Because some things some people can't come back from, can't go through. Before you judge, open your mind and open your eyes and understand that other people live these lives. So needless to say, let's speed forward. I meet my father when I'm 12 years old. He comes home. To me, at that point, he's everything I want him to be. And he telling me, you know, how to, you know, do me. How to be a big boy. I'm 12. To me, that's, you know, at 12, I don't know about y'all, to me, that's the crossroads. That's either where you can go this way or you can go that way. He was giving me permission to go my way. Make my decisions, make my choices. And all my choices were his choices. And he knew this. But he let me. He let me. And I'm not going to sit and blame him, like I said, for everything, because I chose to do the things that I did. But because that life was so natural to me, so raw, that you live by the jungle's creed. The strong must feed on any prey it can. I was that beast. So I mess around and I tell him exactly what I'm doing in life. And he doesn't say anything about it. I tell him about the robbery, the B&E, all of those things that were, you know, those indicators. But he don't say anything, and he had lived that life. I'm going through life like being a man. I ain't got nobody. It's just me, and there ain't nobody gonna disrespect me. It's just me against the world. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you come from. You can't say nothing to me. You can't talk to me any kind of way. Who you think you talking to? Who you think you talking to? That was my attitude. Assaulting people just for no reason. Because I thought it was natural. I think, you know, I'm trying to get rid of the aggression any way I can. I know the difference between right and wrong. But still, I make the choice. Because I'm me. Because of where I come from. Like that make a difference. But that in my mind, it do. In my mind, it made all the difference. Because I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I'm taking yours. Taking yours. I don't care. That was my thinking. I think situational moments lead to situational lessons. There are certain things in life that can change the whole trajectory of your life. I believe that. And I believe my father had been through everything that I had been through, knowing what I was going through, and yet let me go down that rabbit hole when he could have said, no, because he knew. Like I said, I'm not blaming him, but you knew. So to this day, I don't have a relationship with my father, but I have a beautiful family. Yes, I took the life of a man, and I think about it constantly, daily, sometimes, oftentimes, sometimes too much. This is something that I can never undo because I have children, I have progeny, I have a family now, and I understand now what it means, what life means. The things that I do now, I don't do for me, I do for them. I'm here not for me, but because of them. Because I want to leave them something. I want to show them I was better than what other people might have thought of me. Because to them, I got 3 precious little girls. God gave me 3 angels. 3 beautiful angels for all the dirt that I had done in my life. He blessed me with 3 girls. Yeah, I think it's a little karma too, because I probably, deserve some, get back. But to them, I wake up every morning and go to work, come home, and make all their wishes come true. That's who I am. Thank Miss Giroux for all that she's done, all that she is. Miss Giroux is a unique person. She has principles, she has morals, she has standards, she has integrity. She taught me how, when I met Miss Giroux, I was running game. I was still in the joint. I'm doing my thing. I'm trying to get closer to the goal line, but instead of just running straight, you like this. You saw how I was. That you know what that means, right? How many of y'all know what that means? Come on. I'm a rare breed. Joint. And I'm gonna call it what it was. And I didn't really belong over here with the convicts, and I didn't really belong over here with the administration. But here I am with this lady right here. I love her to death. She saw something in me. She saw something in me. If y'all know her, y'all know she's good people.
During your time incarcerated, did you notice a difference in the opportunities provided for you to kind of improving your thinking? Did you see more resources provided to you, or do you think it was more of a transition within yourself of how you were thinking?
They had programs in place at every prison I was in. You just had to be willing to, do what you had to do to go take that program.
How long were you in until you decided to start going to the program?
Like I said, when I met Miss Giroux, I was still playing games. We met in 99. I seen her, I said, there's something about this lady, she's cool. Something about her. It was something that was missing in my life. You see, at that period, like I said, I was playing both sides of the fence. I had a lot of things that were, society qualities. I had some penitentiary qualities too. I was a kid. I grew up in there. I had some structure. Because when I was in school, when I was in high school, I was in ROTC. So some structure was in me. I knew how to respect strength. I knew how to respect power. I knew how to respect rank. We do all them things out here, right? Don't we? Police pull you over, you gonna stop? Huh? I understood it, and when I saw her, she was unbreakable. Yeah, some people, you can use them for whatever benefit you have, for whatever need you have. But when you missing something in your life, and I was missing something at that moment, and I believe that was a situational moment where I could learn a situational lesson. And that situational lesson was about respect, integrity, discipline, being a man of your word, being a man of integrity, being the message that you preach.
How do you say that, growing up in prison has affected you now?
That's a difficult question to really answer without looking at where I am today. live in Grove City, a suburb of Columbus, Ohio. I have 3 beautiful daughters. I can leave them sitting right here, and I could be out there sitting down, and everybody that walked by here would do a double take. They're beautiful. God blessed me with them despite me going through prison. Despite me taking the life of another, taking something so precious, in return he gave me them. I can't say I want to undo anything, because a part of that is who I am today. And who I am today is what's going to make them better than I was. You know, it's going to give them a heads up on life. Because I'm teaching them, I'm hard on them. They hate when I come home. I see the difference. It's obvious the way, you know, they interact with my wife. You know, and she's beautiful. She's from the Dominican Republic. She's a citizen though. She's one of ours. So that's how I look at it. She was one of mine all along. But like I said, I'm married with three beautiful kids. I work. I have a CDL. I have my own business. I can't drive like I used to. I used to, you know, make good money over the road. Was doing me. I was living the American dream, coming from prison. When I came out there, you know, they didn't want to hire me. My own business. When I came home, they didn't want to let me rent. I'm a homeowner. From where I come from, you know, they think I'm doing good. I'm struggling. You know, when the mortgage, when the rates went down, and you know, I saw my mortgage, I said, oh, that helped a little bit. You know, I see the same struggles that you see every day. My life ain't no different than yours. But only difference is back then I didn't have nothing to live for. Now I got everything to live for. Look at me. Prison saved my life. I was on a collision course. I wanted all the beef, especially with you, big dude back there. Yeah, you too big for me and you to be in the same class. You too.
So I was gonna ask if, do you think that you were prepared mentally to get out, or was it difficult for you to transition back into outside living?
It was a process. I thought I was ready all along. I wasn't. But when I wasn't allowed.
When you were in prison, did you ever feel hopeless and just want to give up on life? And was God always prevalent in your life, or did he really reveal himself to you when you were in prison? And is that what transformed you, would you say?
I believe, God has always been in me. I believe I ran from God all my life. And it wasn't until I couldn't run no more. Like I said, I used to drive trucks. And I'll be on the road. I'll be everywhere. I'm talking to my family on the phone. I'm learning stuff about my family on the phone. And then my hips started bothering. See, y'all, I don't know if y'all noticed it or not, but I need a double hip replacement as we speak. I had one hip hit with cortisone. And if you get a cortisone shot, you can't have an operation for at least 3 months if you know anything about that. Okay. So I can't drive them trucks no more. And I didn't really want to be out there because my family was first and foremost in my life. I didn't believe that God brought me out here, because believe me, when I made the transition, it wasn't easy. I played, I dabbed. God he still had me in the hollow of his hand. So look, I don't drive them long hauls no more, so I don't make that long money no more. But them, so I did manage to get a job, and I said I'm gonna revert back to something that I know. I was in prison and I knew carpentry. I was in a vocation. I used to come around and I used to fix stuff in the prison. And I said, I'm gonna try this. I did it and it was too much for me. That's a young man game. They sling the rock. You know, I don't know if y'all got families who do construction, but it ain't no easy gig. And I ain't built for it. I'm used to driving trucks. That's what I do. But God, when I say God has me, He has given me everything I need to be sustained. He gave me a job where the job that I was doing, the construction, they came to me, they said, you know what, we got a job for you. They made me the driver because they knew I had my CDL. They made me to make a long story short, they made me the driver in their warehouse. In the meantime, you know, I drive and pick up stuff from site to site and deliver it from the warehouse or vice versa. Long story short, it's easy man game. It's dudes that's been doing that gig for 20 years and 30 years that wish they had my job. I've been doing it for less than 2 years, and that's my position. And I make $36 an hour. I mean, God is good. I mean, he gives to even the grass. You step on it, it's still growing. He don't stop his job, and it's a good position because I don't have to have all that wear and tear on my body no more, and I can still make a decent living. So I can't complain about really much.
And I see a lot of people who, it's kind of like a lifestyle to them. So when they're released from, say, jail, like I don't see a lot of people being released from prison because I haven't worked there for that long, but it's easy to fall back into that lifestyle because that's what you're around, that's what you're used to. And do you think in some kind of way being there incarcerated for longer gave you an opportunity to kind of get into a better situation mentally for when you were released?
And that's not the only factor, but yes. Yes, I believe it did. I mean, so yes, the prison, it did help reinforce that I wanted family, I wanted structure, but I knew that as a kid. It was just me going out there and executing. See, I had my mind all jacked up on crazy stuff because that's what I was being fed. When I said the devil made me do it, I was being honest. See, the devil gonna feed you whatever you want to hear. He gonna give you your temptations. He gonna whisper that sweet nothing. He gonna tickle that one place. Those things don't move me no more. Them 3 little angels that God gave me, and you know, like I said, I believe in situational moments, and I believe those situational moments lead to situational lessons. My middle girl, she's in school, and she said the little girl pulled her hair. And then she come back and she says another little girl poked her. I could, you know, being who I am, because I got canines, I know how to make you back off. And she's supposed to know it, right? Right? In that stupid thought process. But I want more. They deserve better. So I gotta be better. That's who I am. That's who I am. They say, hey, tell Marty to, you think Marty can record? Because they want to be here, but they don't know this is, to them, I'm just Papa. And they want to know why her birthday gift was better than her birthday gift. And get 1,000 other toys for their birthday. That's it. That's who I am today. And I gotta work in the morning. But the reason they gave me that position is because I never missed a day. My work ethic. She called, I was her aide. Was I always there when you called me?
Absolutely. He didn't talk about all the accomplishments he's made. He
The
did.
program it was to have. You name it, I did it. But I needed something from every step of the way. You know, every step, every program, I needed something more to challenge me. Every book it was. I mean, I forgot how many books I read. I went to college,
Now, friendship, vocational.
I believe in the gifts of God. And I believe all these gifts, I got to use something. I got to give back to some. I got tons of stuff I need to give, and I want to give it to a little boy, but I'm like, I'm just gonna give it to them. I'm gonna give it to them. Y'all messed up. It ain't. But I'm gonna get them all the game, and they gonna run circles around it, all the boys. I am. That's my gift to them. I promise them that. I gotta go home. It was nice meeting y'all, and I appreciate y'all coming out, and I hope, I didn't extend and bore y'all too much.